My name is Matthew Gale and I'm the Acting Assistant Commissioner for the Australian Federal Police Counter-Terrorism and Special Investigations Command. In September 2025, the AFP established National Security Investigations teams to target people and groups causing high levels of harm to Australia's social cohesion, including the targeting of federal elected representatives. Today, I'm here to talk about the work of the AFP's National Security Investigations teams, who this week have charged 3 people for offences against federal parliamentarians. Yesterday, an investigation undertaken by the National Security Investigations team in New South Wales led to the arrest and charging of a 30-year-old man for the offence of using a carriage service to harass a federal member of parliament. We allege the man shared a menacing message on an encrypted online platform encouraging abuse and hate to be directed towards this MP. We allege the message was sent following the MP's condemnation of a National Socialist Network protest in Sydney earlier this month. This man will appear in the Sydney court later today. On Saturday, a separate investigation undertaken by the National Security Investigations team in New South Wales resulted in a 29-year-old man of northern New South Wales being issued a court attendance notice for offences of allegedly making online threats to an Australian high office holder. We will allege the man used an online website portal to make threatening and harassing comments towards the high office holder. He will face court in January 2026. This morning, the National Security Investigations team in Victoria has executed a search warrant as part of an investigation into a man who is alleged to have used a carriage service to harass a federal member of parliament. A man has now been arrested and charged with using a carriage service to harass a federal member of parliament. These 3 incidents are examples of the challenges we face in combating those who are seeking to damage our social cohesion. The AFP National Security Investigations teams are working closely with our Commonwealth, state and territory partners to provide the most effective and disruptive policing response. There are current and emerging individuals and groups who are eroding our country's social fabric by advocating hatred, fear and humiliation, and the AFP once again is putting them on notice. There is no place for hate or violence in our communities, and the AFP will defend and protect Australia and our future from these threats. There will be no tolerance for groups who advocate or have a propensity for violence. Whether offending occurs online or in person, the AFP will use its unique capabilities and legislation to collect evidence and prosecute those who seek to harm our community. The AFP supports freedom of speech and political expression. There are legal ways to amicably communicate and engage in public discourse. But let it be clear, any alleged criminal behaviour, including threats and harassment, will not be tolerated. If you wish to share extremist views that seek to erode the social fabric of our community, the AFP activity this week is a very explicit warning. The AFP will defend and protect Australia and Australia's future from these threats. For any member of extremist groups who engage in criminal activity, know that the AFP is watching you and is ready to take action. I would like to express my sincere thanks to the members of the AFP National Security Investigations teams for their dedication and commitment to these investigations. We urge the public to come forward if they have information about possible threats to the community, no matter how small or insignificant you think that information may be. Any suspicious activity can be reported to the National Security Hotline on 1800 123 400. I'll now take questions. Thank you.
What online website portal are they using to make these threats?
Unfortunately, as this matter is now before the court, I'm not at liberty to discuss that, so I'm sorry, you'll have to follow that one through the courts.
Assistant Commissioner, the threats you made online, how credible do you believe it was that those threats would have resulted in something in the physical world for each of those threats?
Well, the allegations are that there was harassed, threatening or menacing behaviour targeted to a person online. That's the offence that the people are being charged with. We're not here today to talk about the probability or likelihood of any offending actually being carried out.
Does the AFP know what is driving the increase in harassment and threats to elected officials, and how concerned is the AFP about that?
The AFP is very concerned, and our National Security Investigations teams, alongside with our Specialist Protective Command, are working hand in glove with our federal parliamentarians to make sure that we provide them with the assurances and the safety that are required. Threats against federal parliamentarians is a significant issue for us, and we are on the record previously talking about the year-on-year increase that we're seeing in relation to threats. It's at 63% over the last 4 years, and in the financial year of 24-25, we've seen upwards of 951 referrals of threats against parliamentarians.
Assistant Commissioner, we know that at least one of these incidents is from a member of the NSN. They're grabbing headlines, they're increasing activity. Is this a pattern emerging from the NSN? Are the AFP worried or concerned about the NSN? Can you comment on that?
I did mention previously in my comments, and my views are individuals or groups who do promote hatred or fear and eroding the social fabric of Australia, there's no place for that here, and the AFP is well positioned. We have our new National Security Investigations capability that is well prepared to address these issues, and they can expect to see the AFP if they continue to deliver that kind of criminal behaviour.
And the NSN is one of those groups?
This does not apply to particular groups. We are talking about all the online conduct that we see online.
Why do you think there's been that 63% jump over the past 4 years? Is it coinciding with anything that might be happening around the world or here at home?
There's probably a multitude of factors. I'm here today, however, to talk about the recent arrests and the role that our NSI teams are playing in countering those.
What's the maximum penalty these offenders or alleged offenders could face?
The harassed, threatened and menacing online carries a penalty of 5 years imprisonment.
You've spoken about the problem of extremism. Can you say what ideology the three men were connected to?
Again, as the matter is before the court, unfortunately I can't go into specifics around that.
Are they known to each other?
Again, as the matter is before the court, I'm not going to go into that level of detail.
You said that you were watching. You said that you were watching extremists. That's some messages you just put through. Are you able to give us a flavour of how many individuals you are actually kind of keeping an eye on at any one time?
Again, figuratively speaking, watching as in we accept reports of crime, and we do actually keep across some of that activity that is occurring. If there is, we have a proactive capability which we are very focused on trying to harden that environment to try and limit the harm to the people in our community.
Are you able to give us a flavour at all? You know, talking about number of referrals, are you able to give us a flavour of just kind of how many you are?
Again, I won't be talking about that level of information here today. I'm sorry.
Some of these alleged offenders have been celebrating the publicity that they've been getting.
Yep.
How do you mitigate that against doing your job and issuing this warning today?
Again, I'm not here to comment on individuals or give them any further airtime.
Does the AFP have a view on whether bail should be opposed for some of the alleged offenders?
Again, that's a matter for the courts. The AFP puts its case before the court, and then we'll leave that at.
On these online spaces where these comments are taking place, is it the view of the AFP that most of that interaction is by people in Australia, or are there people from overseas also engaged in these online spaces where these sort of comments are being made, and is that impacting this
Again, in general terms, obviously the world is a very connected place, and we do have wonderful capability within the AFP, both internally but also through our extended partnerships internationally and across government. So I wouldn't be able to give you specifics at this point of time, but we all know that the world is a very connected place now.
I guess thinking of those spaces where these comments are being made, though, is it the view that there are like Australian-specific, groups where people are discussing this, or are these national, international networks of people where these sorts of, be they threats, be they tones of conversation being discussed?
Again, noting that this is part of an active and ongoing investigation, I really would prefer not to go into details. Thank you.
What was the nature of the threats made to the parliamentarians?
Those nature of those threats is listed in the court documents. So again, I'd rather not go into. It's of a harassing, threatening, and an intimidating manner.
Were the threats referred to you by the parliamentarians or their officers?
Yes,
They
yes, and those reports of crime were provided to the AFP because of that conduct. Yes.
In relation to the Sydney matter specifically, are any other people being investigated for alleged threats made to that MP?
Look, the evidence continues to be reviewed, and if there are any other offences that are identified, then obviously we'll pursue those lines of inquiry, and we'll put others before the court if that is appropriate.
These 951, I think, sorry, was the number two for those threats. Are all of those online? Those threats that are being...
It's all encompassing the harassed, threatening, intimidatory engagements that are being with our parliamentarians. Yeah.
Are you aware in the Melbourne case of an in-person incident, or is it all online?
The allegations that we are putting before the court is that this conduct was conducted online.
Are you aware of anything outside of the online harassment?
Again, I won't be commenting on that.
Right, last question, guys. Ready?
In terms of like kind of macro trends, that's quite a significant increase. Where are we seeing the increase coming from?
It's a good question. Unfortunately, I'm not here today to talk about that particular statistic and that environment. Perhaps you could provide us a question, and we can provide some insights into that at a later time.
Is the AFP increasing security for parliamentarians?
The AFP has a wonderful capability. I think I mentioned earlier, we have our National Security Investigations teams, we have a Specialist Protective Command, and we work very, very closely with our federal parliamentarians and their electoral officers, and we are very, very open to providing them with all the assurances that they require to feel safe.
Can you elaborate a little bit on the National Security Investigations team? How do they differ from some of the other teams?
So again, as I mentioned in the opening statement, our National Security Investigations teams were established in September 2025, and they were established to target people and groups causing high levels of harm to Australia's social cohesion, and including the targeting of elected representatives. This is a new directive under our new Commissioner, Barrett, and this is a wonderful opportunity for the AFP to really take forward and lean in to some of these challenges that we're experiencing in Australia at the moment.